Intersubjectivity. By the way, we are, if I'm not mistaken, we are 2 lessons away from finishing the curriculum in Philo. So this, no, this is the second to the last lesson, third to the last lesson. Our lesson next week is our second to the last lesson. The lesson after that talks about death. Our last lesson in Philo is about death. So generally, technically speaking, the curriculum guide in Philo can be finished during pre-finals. We have the entire pre-finals period to finish all of the lessons in Philo, and then we'll just see what we can do for the finals. Maybe I'll try to look for advanced lessons, or yeah, advanced lessons in Philo, and then we'll insert these lessons in our finals period. Intersubjectivity. You have there a situation where people treat others as mere objects. You ask yourself that question as well. Have I done this? Have I done, at least at one point, at some point in my life, has it reached that point where I treated others as though they were objects? Like, have is there if you have house helps at home, do I shout at them, laugh at them, snub at them? Do I treat them as though they're machines? Don't I treat them as human beings? Because if your answer to this leans to the possibility that you are really treating persons as pure objects, then you have not reached the period of intersubjectivity or an epiphany of intersubjectivity. Intersubjectivity reminds us of so many things. One important reminder that intersubjectivity tells us is that the human person is not an object. Therefore, the human person is not subject for manipulation. Take note of that. Whoever you are, whoever the other person may be, the human person is not expected to be manipulated. The human person should not be used. We don't have the right to use others, because in the same way, we do not want ourselves to be used by others, right? For sure, not one of you here wishes that you be taken advantage of, that you be manipulated by others. I don't know, but perhaps you wish to be the one to drive. You wish that yourself be the one to drive your life into that path that you wish it to take. Perhaps that is not also to disregard your family, your parents, your friends, but I think all of us wish that we be able to decide on how we are going to drive our lives in this path. In the same way, others feel that same thing. That is why we must not use them, because we do not also want ourselves to be used. We do not treat them as pure objects. We do not manipulate them, because we do not want ourselves to be also manipulated. That's what intersubjectivity wishes to achieve. In the same, another thing that intersubjectivity wants to tell us is you cannot just treat a person as a thing without hurting the person's feelings. The moment you simply treat someone as though he or she is a mere object, chances are you can really hurt that person. And face it, that feeling of hurt will be possibly harbored, if not be taken personally against you, and you can't be you must not be surprised anymore that anytime soon something untoward will happen to you. And that's expected again, because you have treated the other person differently. If you only treat the other person as a subject, an entity worth respecting and deserving of love and dignity, then you won't hurt others. The human persons are expected, sorry, Human persons are expected to treat others as fellow subjects and not as objects in service of other subjects. This relationship is intersubjectivity. Strictly defined, intersubjectivity is a relationship supported by genuine communication. So take note of that. What kind of communication supports intersubjectivity? It's genuine communication. Genuine communication is one that that's willing to tell the others to tell others of what wrong they did, what accomplishments are worth appreciating. That's genuine. Different We have to set this kind of communication apart from those which are hypocrite uh, considered under hypocrisy or pretense. Genuine communication is really the opposite of pretense, where someone just appears so good in front of the other, but only to find out that behind his or her back, something unpleasant is being said. While something wrong has been noticed, it would be good to tell it right away to the person, because the purpose of which is to make the other better. This genuine communication is founded on mutual respect, as the other person is treated as a subject, and that there is a recognition of co-presence. So you have two important things that exist in intersubjectivity. You have mutual respect to treat others as subjects, and co-presence. That is the openness of one's presence to the presence of others. Intersubjectivity recognizes that others exist. Therefore, in the existence of others, a person must know how to behave or carry him or herself, to be ready that others' presence is coexistent with one's own presence. That the presence of one is not to dominate the presence of others. We are to be open that others exist, because others are also open that we exist together with them. So again, two important things constitute intersubjectivity: